Being a female in the military is an interesting experience. I will say that it's not easy at all. It's even if you're on a shore duty the whole time, or if you're out to sea when it's not easy, and there's a lot of highs and lows. I'll say that. So I was actually a senior in high school. It was, I believe, January or February of my senior year. I was 17 years old, and the recruiter came to our high school and was handing out information. And then he called me after I gave him my information. He called me, and so I found out more information about the Navy, and I thought it sounded really cool. And I talked to my parents about it, and then I decided to go ahead and sign up. And so I joined in what's called the delayed entry program. Since I was still a minor and I was still in high school, I couldn't go in yet. And so after I graduated June of 2003, so I'm revealing my age here, but then 6 months later, December, is when I went to boot camp. So at first I was kind of like, I thought it was really cool. I was like, okay, I can do this. I had a little bit of fear, especially because I don't like flying. And so I had to fly. I grew up in Pennsylvania. So I had to fly from Pennsylvania to Chicago to go to boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois. And at first I had a little bit of fear about that, and leaving my family, of course, at the time I was really, really close to my family. And I remember like the first night of boot camp laying in we call it a rack, but our bunk bed, and I was like crying, and I was like staring at the ceiling like, what did I do? So my family actually was really, really supportive, even though I was 17 years old. And it was like, and that's one thing, like with my family, like if I set my mind to something, I'm just going to do it. I think they knew that there was no talking me out of it. It's like, my mom was really, really sad. And my son's 14 now. And so I think about sending my 18-year-old kid off to the military, and it's like the most frightening thing. So I'm like, now I know like exactly what my mom like felt like, because when I left for boot camp, she dropped me off at the airport, and she cried so hard. And then, when I graduated boot camp, she came out there. When I got back from deployment, she was there. And so they really supported it. They encouraged it. I got married, and we had our son, and he's now my ex-husband, but he is from Texas. And so we got out of the military within a month of each other in 2009, and we decided to come back to Texas. I had never been to Texas ever in my life. I grew up on the East Coast, and so we moved from Virginia to Texas. And it was a difficult transition, especially because I didn't have any of my family here in Texas. I was by myself, and at the time, our son, he wasn't even a year old yet. He was still a little baby, so it was just hard being away from my family. And then also it was hard. It was kind of difficult, like getting a job right away, because I didn't have any education. Like I didn't go to college at all before the military. I just went straight to college, and then from the military, civilian life. So then in January of 2010, we moved to Lubbock from Big Spring. And I started looking for jobs, and then I decided I want to go to school. And so September of 2010 is when I started going to school at South Plains College, and then I transferred to Texas Tech in 2012. And I used my military benefits to do that. The veteran program here at Tech is really awesome because most people know that if you join, you get the first year, the year in the military, you can allot to pay into the Montgomery GI Bill program. At the time that I signed up for it, it was the post 9/11 GI Bill, because I signed up after 9/11 terrorist attacks. And so it's called post 9/11 GI Bill. And so all we had to do, it was pretty easy. Like the staff were really helpful. The program has changed since 2012, but that was some years ago, but they're still really, really helpful. And I was able to get everything through, so I didn't have to worry about paying for those first few years that I was at Texas Tech. And also in 2012 is when I also started working as a staff member. I started in the physics department, and then I was going to school full time, working part time, and then just continued to work on my degree slowly but surely. I've always been kind of the person that I just pull myself up by the bootstraps and just do what I have to do. And I feel like the military really helped me with that too, as far as just do what you're supposed to do, get it done, and like it just a constant growth mindset. Like you don't want to stay stagnant in one place. And so I think the military really helped with that. And that's also another reason why I joined the military is I didn't want to stay in my hometown. I didn't want to stay stagnant. I wanted to continue to grow. And so the military helped me with that. And then also, when I worked at the physics department, I learned everything I could, and then I transitioned out of that role and came to engineering. And my chairmen have always been really supportive of me to continue my education. Like they have a growth mindset too. And so in Texas Tech administration, that's always been supportive of going back to school. Like, as a full-time staff member, they'll pay for a class a semester until you finish your bachelor's. Like it's from here, it really is possible. I believe firmly in that you work hard when you're younger so that you don't have to work as hard when you're older. And so if you get out of the military, or you're in the military, if you're in college now, or even if you're in the military and you want to transition to college, the really awesome thing about Texas Tech is they are very veteran friendly. And even in the College of Engineering, there's scholarships available just for veteran students or just, American citizens. And so veterans automatically qualify because the majority of veterans are American citizens. And so even in the Department of Electrical Engineering, we're very veteran friendly. Like all of our faculty typically love our veteran students. If you put your mind to it and you work hard, you can do it.